What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Tuesday. I missed y'all. I have been having like crazy weeks between work, my day job, between Move with Finesse, Complex Simplicity, music, and the list goes on. Family life, married life, all that jazz. Your girl's been busy, but yeah, I got y'all. So Move with Finesse had their second class. We had our second dance class this past Saturday, December 8th, and we had an amazing time. It was a very cold and frigid day in New York, and so we had a very intimate class. We had two people come through. Our very first class that we had early October, we had one person come through. Went through a lot of changes from then. Went from 3 choreographers to 2, and we had 2 people come through. We had a great time with them. Shout outs to you, Rena and Nia, for showing your love and support. But what really stood out to me the most, aside from having fun with the ladies, was the fact that we ended up being able to make a great business connection that has afforded us a great opportunity or great opportunities. In 2019, we have a dance studio in the Bronx that we're able to call home, so to speak, a studio that we will be working out of, Dancer's Dreams, located on 1630 or at 1630 Westchester Avenue. So that was so dope. And the sky is the limit as far as, they're going to be assisting us with our marketing and just getting people to come to our classes. If you don't know, Dancer's Dreams Studio, they work with children. It's like a dance school for children. They do all kinds of different styles of dance, and they travel and like perform. They're dope. So if you have children or you know children who love to dance, please Google Dancer's Dreams, DREAMZZZ, located at 1630 Westchester Avenue, Bronx, New York. I believe it's 10472. And so we're excited to be able to like call this studio like our home for our classes and for the many people that will take our classes. Little did we know, the very next day, aside from that major thing happening, and all of the beautiful opportunities it'll bring for all parties involved, my girl and I got booked to teach to teach our dance, our choreography, our style of dance for a private party, a birthday party, an adult birthday party. And so I say all this to say, God works in mysterious ways. Sometimes, y'all, you just never ever know. This is why I always say, don't second guess yourself. Believe in yourself. Even when the odds are stacked against you, even when you are the underdog per se, even when the very people that you love and rock with don't necessarily believe in the vision, you gotta go for it. If you feel it in your soul, you have to go for it. And when it came to Move with Finesse, like I said before, this was a vision that I had, that I felt from the depths of my soul. And it's just amazing to see how things are really starting to turn around for us. 2019 is looking very promising and bright for Move with Finesse, and I'm excited and want to rock out with you. Want to come to a dance floor near you, please come to, our classes. Follow at Move with Finesse on Instagram to stay updated, but yes, I'm excited for what's to come, and working with my girl, my girl niece, she's like a sister, you know what I'm saying? I've known her since I was a child, like since I was probably like 12 years old. I'm 35, it's been a long time. And so it's been a blessing working with her, and I'm just excited for all that's to come. So that's just a little update on what's happening with us over there. And of course, I'm still plugging away with Complex Simplicity, still creating opportunities for myself, and like I said, being balls to the wall with other amazing things that I see to come for Complex Simplicity. And yeah, so life is, can't complain, still doing well at job, killing it at work, my day job. I'm still enjoying that, even though it could be tiring, but I'm thankful nonetheless. And when I'm at work, I'm focused, tunnel vision. So y'all, it's Christmas time. Holla at your girl. Come to my store. Comment under this. I got you. We have some select styles that are 50% off. Come by, Coach. Holla at your girl. But anyway, what is it that I wanted to talk about? So on my Instagram page at ComplexedSimplicity09, I did like a Insta story this morning. There are times when I arrive at work and I'm waiting for one of my associates to come. And yeah, I use it as some time to either, put a encouraging, uplifting, thought-provoking post up, or, to do an Insta story. And it was like kind of a candid talk with Chanel type of Insta story. Christmas is 2 weeks away. I've heard a few people who have recently gotten into relationships, whether they were dating for 3 months, 6 months, and they're wondering what to buy their significant other for Christmas, but worried at the same time about not wanting to get something too extravagant or too expensive or too whatever. And I found it interesting in just, having conversations with people who are in new relationships, or low-key ear hustling the conversations that they're having with other people about their new relationship and what to get the person. And my thing is, in relationships, not that I've been in many, but I've always gone with my gut. Like, I was always that woman, that girl. If I liked a guy, I told him. Like, I'm very just, I go with my gut, I go with my heart, I use my head, but like, I'm not about the whole holding back and fronting about how I feel. Or if you feel led to get an extravagant gift for somebody you were dating for 4 months, that's what you want to do, then do it. What I find interesting is, it's like, oh no, you can't buy this person a gift that's extravagant, or no, I can't spend $150 on this gift. We just only started dating for 2 months. But if you're sleeping with the person and you're giving them the most priceless, precious, best gift on earth, especially to us women, right? You're giving the best that you got, meaning our bodies are priceless. Like, being intimate with someone sexually, like that's a gift to a whole other level. So sometimes it baffles me when I hear these conversations or am engaged in a conversation with someone and they're like, yeah, but I don't want to spend so much money, I don't want to. But it's like, girl, you done let this person like stick you, lick you, sorry to be graphic, but do all types of things to you that are intimate and private, and you're tripping about a gift? Like, help me understand. Oh, the things that go on in Chanel's head, I tell you. So help me understand, y'all. Like, what is that about? Like, do we think about that, or is it a deeper issue where our worth and how we view ourselves and how we view when we give our bodies to someone, are we really looking at that as if it's like nothing, but we're more concerned about not spending over a certain amount of money for a Christmas gift for someone we're dating when we've done everything under the sun physically with this person? Or even if you've had sex with them, like, your body is like priceless. Like, so if you're giving that away with no quorums, no second thoughts, no issues, no concerns, why is it so concerning or so like, I can't buy them this gift, it's too much money? Like, help me understand, y'all. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Oh man, I just had to bring that up. Comment under this video if you understand what I'm saying, or if you have some kind of rationale. I invite other perspectives. No judgment here. It's just something that I'm trying to understand the rationale, if you get what I'm saying. Another thing that I will say is, because I've also had the same, conversations with the same people who are, in new relationships, and they're seeking advice about what they should or shouldn't get someone. My thing is this: you know your man, you know your woman. Stop seeking advice from other people about what you should do who don't know who you're with. Like, I was told by somebody I work with that someone else was like, oh no, like, my colleague already planned out what she was going to get for her man. They've been dating for maybe about 6 months. And, someone else we work with was like, no, you can't, that's too extravagant. You can't get that. And my thing is, why is it that we always got to have a say-so in somebody's life? Why can't we just let people live and do them? Take me, for example. Yes, I give my perspective. I give many perspectives of mine own on complex simplicity, right? Whether you're on the YouTube channel, whether you're on the actual website, whether you're on my social media, yes, a big part of the brand I'm building is me giving my thoughts, opinions, and perspectives, right? I never say that it's Bible. I never push these things onto others, right? You know, I have a problem when people want to push how they feel you should live your life onto you. I'm always be that kind of person that'll say, you'll hear you out. When asked my opinion, give my opinion and perspective. But then the choice is ultimately up to you. Like, why do we still feel the need out here to always have to say what someone else should be doing? Like, you're not with my man. How are you gonna know what kind of Christmas gift he would appreciate? How do you know that he's gonna be like, yo, shorty's a little too, she's being a little too extra, a little too clingy. Like this gift is a little bit too expensive. Like, how do you know that that's gonna be that man's response, right? I just feel like we gotta be careful when we're giving our opinions and advice, especially when it's unsolicited. I'm not talking about in a clear forum or a platform that I'm building as such. We all have the right to say what we want to say on whatever platforms we are building for ourselves. But in relationships with others, in friendships with others, in co-workerships with others, I really feel like it is not my place to tell somebody else what they should do and what they need to do. No, don't do that. This is what you need to, like, that's not my place to say that. You know what I'm saying? You got to live your own life. You got to be able to make certain decisions for yourself. Like, just saying. But it does really boil my blood when I see people, especially adults, like constantly feeling like they have say-so in someone else's life. None of us have say-so in anybody's lives but our own. Especially when half the time, some of us are struggling to even have the right say-so for our own lives, right? Have you ever met people who are like, don't get me wrong, I'm opinionated, but have you met people who are like, it's beyond being opinionated. It's almost like you're very critical, overly critical, right? And people who are overly critical when it's not necessary, right? When your thoughts or your opinions or your critique wasn't asked for. Like, that boils my blood. And then on top of that, like I'm saying before, it's almost as if it's like, but your life doesn't bear this level of fruit, but you're trying to tell me what I need to do with mine? Like, I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. Like, when it comes to love, when it comes to career, when it comes to womanhood, I'm sorry, please don't try to come at me and tell me what I need to do when, and this is going to sound a little smug, and it's not coming from a smug place, but when I'm more progressed in life than you are, you know, meaning don't tell me about career when I'm the one jumping off cliffs out here and making it happen with God's help. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one killing the game, being balls to the wall, and it actually working for me. Don't talk to me about entrepreneurship when you've never jumped off a cliff to venture to do your own thing and put your own stuff out there, right? Don't talk to me about love when you're not even in a relationship and haven't really been able to be in a successful relationship, right? Don't talk to me about womanhood when I've done, like, kind of, what's the word I'm saying? I've kind of, like, been there, done that, and I'm just a little bit, or a lot of it further along. Hard to explain without sounding, but that's, like, kind of the issue I have. Like, please, let's be mindful of the critique we're giving others, especially if it's unsolicited. Unless you're coming from a place of, girl, I made all these mistakes. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. If I were you, I would go right. Going left is not a good path. It's your choice, but I'm just saying. I'm saying this because I love you, girl. I could take that. That's different, right? You done experienced some things. You done, went through certain trials and tribulations and challenges, that I haven't really gone through yet. I get that. But please don't try to give so much critique and opinions and perspective when you haven't quite experienced as much as the person that you're giving such critique and opinions and perspective to. That's what I'm trying to say. We have to be real careful with that, you know? So yeah, with that being said, I would say people, please, let's not hold and invest so much stock in what everybody else is saying we should do. And I face it all the time, especially in my new career fields, you know, where it's like, when it comes to fashion and style, everybody has their say about how you should look, about what is dope, about what is fashionable, about what isn't. And I make it very clear to my colleagues, Chanel is always going to do Chanel. I don't care if you think what I like is whack. Chanel is always going to do Chanel. That has never steered me wrong in life. Being me and doing me. I don't care if everybody thinks a particular handbag is whack as hell. If I like it, I'm rocking it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you think my hairstyles are like, don't get it. If I like it, I'm rocking it. So I just want to encourage us all. It's so easy to just let everybody else's opinions and advice and critique like make or break the decisions we make in life. No. Ask yourself, is this person a little bit further along in life than I am? Have they lived life a little bit more than I have and experienced certain things, good, bad, in between? Are they coming from a good place, of course? Very, very important question to ask yourself and assess. And just like, you know, is there something, is this person naturally wise? Like, is there something that I can really gain or learn from taking this person's advice, so to speak? And then even us asking ourselves, like I said, I really try hard not to push my agenda onto people or push how I live my life being what you need to do. A lot of my girlfriends and loved ones, they don't necessarily take my advice. I've shared this before. A lot of times I'm like, I don't want to take my advice, but you kind of want some of the things, you kind of want to be in some of the places I already am. Like, but I get it. Even then, I'm not going to push. And when I say you kind of want to be in some of the places I am, meaning you want marriage, right? You want to be able to find love and have that love eventually turn into marriage. You want to be able to, you know, have your own, whatever that means for you. You want to be able to have a certain level of confidence and self-love. You want to be able to have a certain level of emotional balance thinking, like all those things, right? But I still respect, you know, not everybody's going to want to hear your advice, take it, or care to like do the things that you've done to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? We all have different plights and paths in life, and it is what it is. Like, even then, I'm not pushing my advice. I can know in my heart of hearts that you're taking a crazy left turn that's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. As your friend, I will be honest with you out of love, and then it's up to you. If you want to take that sharp left, all right. Like, you got to live your own life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely try to practice not pushing my advice or how I live my life onto others. I like to share my perspective as far as, but did you think about it from this angle? But then I leave it alone. I'm not going to bombard anybody to like, you know, take my advice, or I'm not going to critique people, you know, to the point where it's like, oh God, I don't even want to hear what you got to say. You know, there's some people where you're just like, oh, here we go. Like, you know, now what are you going to try to push on me now? You know, I don't think that that's cool. I think we all have our own lives to live, and we all need to do that and figure that out and not be so concerned about telling other people what they need to do for their lives. You know what I'm saying? Some of you may feel like, well, isn't that what you do with Complex Simplicity? And I will say, hell to the no. This is not what I do with Complex Simplicity. I like to have thought-provoking conversation. I like to discuss real life, real shit topics. I like to give my perspective as a, did you ever think about it this way? Or things that make you go, or y'all help me understand. Like, but I'm not coming, I strive not to be on a soapbox talking about, and you need to, and you, if you notice, that's not even a word I use. I'm always saying we, because as I always say, I'm part of the conversation as well. I'm not above it. So I strive very hard and very diligently to not be critical to the people that I love, or just in general critical of people and humans. I try not to push my opinions onto others. I try not to control how other people live their lives and the decisions they make. Like, everybody's got to do them. Y'all ain't got to answer to me at the end of the day. We all got to answer to God. At least that's my belief system. And so I got my own stuff I need to like answer to God about. I ain't got time to be telling other people what they need to do or having other people answer to me. Like, who am I? You know what I'm saying? So let's just be more mindful of that. Gotta let people live and do them, even when you don't understand it. I know that could be a difficult thing. I've said before, I have loved ones. I love them, but I just don't get certain things. I just don't get it. But I've accepted the fact that I may never get it, and if I feel like the person's worth it to still be around, they're adding to my life, and I keep them around, okay, Chanel, then you just know that these may be people, or this may be a person. You just never get it fully when it comes to them, but you love and respect them through it all. You know what I'm saying? And learn to respect and love the differences. Back to the Myers-Briggs post that I did, or not post, but vlog that I did maybe 2 months ago. I really enjoyed having my girlfriends take that test, personality test, because it helped me to understand all the things that make us different a little bit more, and for me to respect it and not feel like, treat things that are different as if it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all don't gotta be the same. We all don't have to think the same. We all don't have to do the same things in the same way at the same time. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. So if you have a significant other that you've been with for 2 minutes, meaning you probably were with them for 2 months, and you decide to buy them an extravagant gift, and you feel this is what you want to do in the depths of your heart, then do that. Don't let other people deter you or sway you or change how you're feeling and thinking because it's something they wouldn't do. It's your life. This is the person that you're with. They're not with this person. They don't know this person. Like, ask yourself, do they even have a man or woman? And if they do, are they in healthy and happy relationships? And if they are, and all those answers are yes, then okay, but it doesn't mean that it gives them any right to tell you what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm hoping this is making sense. I cannot believe that Christmas is 2 weeks away. I'm hoping that you all are having an amazing holiday season. I can for sure say I have really, really been in the Christmas. I've been able to experience the season. Haven't been able to do this in several years. Working social work or in the social work field, this is a hard time for a lot of, people who are in foster care, kids, families who are like not living together, that are currently torn apart. It could be a very depressing time of year. And so I spent a lot of time having to like work a lot and like really be on top of how, everybody was doing that I was working with, or just the time frames and deadlines. And it just is a lot in that world. And don't get me wrong, I'm working a lot because I work over 40 hours every week. I probably work more now than I did being in the social work field as far as the amount of hours I'm doing a week. But what I will say is, between all the Christmas music we play at the store, between wrapping all of these amazing gifts that people are coming in to buy for their loved ones, and tying bows, and being home and watching every Christmas movie that comes out, and planning my own holiday party that my husband and I are doing in a couple of days, and doing a little bit of shopping of my own, like, I've really been able to like savor the Christmas holiday season. And Christmas is my favorite holiday ever, and so it just feels so good. Normally it seems like and feels like it, the season is 2 minutes because I was always so busy working and far removed and shopping at the last minute, which I still will end up doing this year. I still have more shopping to do. But I can honestly say I've been savoring the season, and it feels so good. Most people that come into our store are like pleasant and, buying gifts and, just that holly jolly, like that kind of feeling. So I'm loving it. And, looking forward to hosting our party with our friends and young family members this Saturday, and looking forward to hosting Christmas Day with my immediate family, my mother, my father, my brother, his wife, his kids, like my husband, of course. Like, I'm looking forward to all these things. Holiday season just feels so good. Looking forward to getting my check next week too, because your girl was top seller again in the game, and we made our team share goal and extra money. I'm with it. The one thing they'll never tell you about retail, especially luxury retail, is money to be made, y'all. I'm telling you, my checks be looking right. But anyway, so yes, I'm just excited, and I'm looking forward to kicking back with my girls and dancing, having some cocktails and mingling, and all the males in my life. Like, I'm just looking forward to it. I think we always have pretty epic Christmas parties, and I'm looking forward to what this year will bring. And I just love celebrating the season with the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I love to do. So it should be good. And I hope that you all are enjoying the holiday season and you're taking time to savor and revel in it. Please don't just let it pass you by. There is something to be said about the spirit of Christmas, the feeling, the warmth, spirit of giving, of course, acknowledging Jesus Christ's birth. It's just something to be said about all of that. I think my husband, he's normally anti-Christmas movies and all of these things. The crazy thing is, even he'll sit and watch it with me or lay in bed, and we'll be cuddling and watching it until we fall asleep. And he's probably just doing it because he knows that I love those kind of movies. But there's something to be said. I think the spirit of Christmas is even like kind of getting to him a bit, Maybe because I started from October watching these movies, or started playing the music, and I don't know, I just feel like it's even affecting him. I think it could be a very infectious, warm, and positive spirit. So hopefully you all are feeling it as well. What else I want to talk about? Should I end this vlog at 27 minutes? Should I continue to my normal 38? But yeah, those are kind of the things I wanted to express and just encourage us all, and for all of us to be mindful of just how we're inserting ourselves and our opinions in other people's lives. And another thing that I spoke about this week on my Instagram page, just having the spirit of gratitude. Even when I want to part my lips to complain about something, I've really been finding myself reminding me to stop. Like, Chanel, you have so much to be thankful and grateful for. Like, you need to stop. You could have it way worse. There's someone else who would love to be in your shoes, in your position, living your life. So stop it. Be thankful to God for where you are, where you've come from, and where you're trying to go. So we can all just have that spirit of gratitude and, being thankful for what we do have. I think I had posted a quote that said, happy people are the people who are content with what they do have and acknowledge the blessings that happen in their life. Whereas unhappy people is when you're like always complaining about what you don't have, and a lot of times low-key wanting somebody else's life, somebody else's blessings. And so it's just like, no, Chanel, you have a lot to be thankful for just this year alone, like, stop it. So yes, in this season, we're ending the 2018 calendar year. We're going into 2019. I want to start this year off being thankful. We're gonna start this off right. Like, I want to go into this year being thankful, being grateful, being happy, of course. Like, we all have so much to be thankful for. Opening our eyes every day, right? having health, family, still having loved ones who are alive. Like, so much to be thankful for. And what I'll talk about lastly is it broke my heart to hear that Michelle Williams, we know her from Destiny's Child, and Chad Johnson called their engagement off. Like that kind of hurt me to the core because I was rooting for them. I watched their reality show, Chad Loves Michelle, every Saturday. I DVR it, so I watch it every week like clockwork. And I love the fact that they were very vulnerable and transparent about their journey to marriage and their premarital counseling sessions they were engaging in. And, you know, they were honest about Michelle's battle with depression and how that has affected the relationship. And, you know, Chad's childhood stuff and how he always, you know, felt like he had to be the one to save his father and keep his father alive, who I believe was an alcoholic and ended up committing suicide. And so I was really rooting for them. I really, really like Chad. And, you know, of course, I always love Michelle. She has that spunky, quirky, weird personality, but infectious at the same time. And, you know she's knocking on 40, and, you know, Beyonce's married with 3 kids. You know, Kelly's married with a child, and I'm sure she has other friends who are married. And most women, not all, but most women want that as well. And, you know, I was rooting for her, right? And we all find love and these like major monumental things such as marriage happen for us at different times. There is no specific time frame, so to speak. So it hurt my heart to see that they weren't really able to make it work. But what I will say is, this is why I often say on all of my vlogs, particularly the ones that have to do with dating and love, as you're waiting to meet that person, part of preparing yourself for those who want to be married, to be a wife, to be a husband, has to do with working on your own personal issues, childhood stuff. I will go to my grave saying that childhood is where it all begins, and that whatever we experience in our childhood can make or break us depending on what it is and whether or not we've worked through whatever needed to be worked through, whether it's childhood trauma stuff or whether it's just your picture of what a man and woman, let me not just say that, because there are more relationships that are not just constituted with a man and a woman, but just whatever your picture was of whatever a relationship looked like, right? It might not have always been a healthy depiction of what a marriage or relationship looked like. You know, it might have been. Like, all of those things actually do matter, and they do affect us more than we know. And so as you're single, really, really trying to understand what you saw and witnessed in your childhood with your mom, with your dad, or what you saw and witnessed where maybe you didn't have a mom that was around, or maybe you didn't have a dad, or maybe you didn't have either parent around, how that has affected you. How do you view marriage and relationships? What looks like a healthy marriage and relationship? What doesn't look like a healthy marriage and relationship? What does it mean to fully open yourself up to be vulnerable and transparent with someone else? Do you even understand your own thoughts and feelings? As I always say, do you even love yourself? A lot of times we focus on someone loving us. Do you love you? You know, do we love who we are? All these things matter. And then on top of it, if there are other issues, and whether it's emotional, mental health issues, depression, bipolar disorder, you know, anger management, like there are a myriad of other things that we all can face from time to time, depending on our childhoods, of course, depending on whatever could have been passed down through the family bloodline. You know, mental health is a hereditary thing as well. Like, have we really sat down and thought about all these things, you know, these factors? Like, stuff matters, because it's really gonna make it difficult to do life with someone when we have so many unresolved issues within ourselves. And yes, we should always be working on ourselves and working through things personally, but you more or less, there is a certain level of individual healthiness, I feel, that has to be there in order, one, for us to even attract the right person, right? And two, to then be able to maintain such a relationship. Relationships are hard. I always say this, in and of themselves, when you're with the right person. Like, you're not going to agree about everything. You probably are going to have different love languages. Myself and some of my husband's friends, we often talk about this, which I love when men get it, right? And they start talking about these things. Love languages, how I need to be loved and how I express love at times is different than how my husband needs to be loved and how he expresses love. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times it's, even though it may not be a natural way for me to express a certain kind of love to my husband, because I love him and know that he needs to be loved in this way that may feel unnatural to me, but I love him enough to still make all efforts to love him in the way that he needs to be loved, right? And vice versa. Like, it's so much to it. So a lot of compromise, thinking of someone else just as much, if not more, than you think of yourself sometimes. Like, it's that real in marriage. I'm talking about marriage premise at this point. Like, loving someone in spite of their flaws, when they're getting on your nerves, when you question the marriage, like, all these things you're gonna go through. So when we're already kind of unsettled in who we are and loving who we are and understanding who we are and how we think and what we need and how we need to be loved and how we show love, like, those things have to be figured out. It's gonna be a hard time in a relationship, furthermore a marriage, when there's so many unsettled pieces of the puzzle that need to be put together within ourselves first. I hope that makes sense, you know? And so I get how, as much as Michelle and Chad, you know, who knows, maybe they will get back together. Maybe that is who God has for each of them, each other's, right? Who knows? But if they don't get back together, then it's very evident and clear that perhaps it didn't matter how much they loved one another. Whatever their personal issues were within themselves needs to be worked out. Needs to be worked out, you know? Mental health is a difficult thing. I've worked with people for years who have had serious mental health challenges, needs, and it's not easy. It takes a lot out of you. It could be taxing. It could be a serious roller coaster ride, pendulum, you know, swing that you're on. It's real. And not everybody can deal with that. And so I was rooting for them. It kind of hurt my heart, you know, but I get it, you know. Some things just, you try and sometimes it just doesn't work. But I definitely wish both of them the best. I pray their strength and hope that whoever God does have for them, even if it still is each other for, even if it is that God has Chad for Michelle, Michelle for Chad, that they're able to get through whatever hurdles personally, fix certain things within themselves, or resolve as best as they could certain things within themselves, whether that's going to individual therapy. For Michelle, she is on antidepressant medication. Whether it is, I don't know, being one with themselves just a little bit more before they join forces with each other or someone else. I'm hoping whatever it is, whatever journey they have to go on, that they're able to get through it and see themselves come out on the other side, right? I'm a promoter of love and marriage. I feel like everybody deserves, who wants it, deserves to be able to have it. But you gotta know it's a lot of work, y'all. It's a lot of work. A lot of individual work and a lot of working together as a team in a marriage. And a lot of communication. As I always say, having those difficult conversations. It's a lot of, like, not always being about I, me, and what I want. It's about us and we and what's best for the family, you know? A lot of stuff, man. And like I say, I don't think that I was luckier than anybody else or better than anybody else because I found love rather young and got married, you know, in my early 30s. I just feel like because I came from the kind of childhood and background that I came from, and because I have parents who are still married and who still love each other, and who gave me a healthy depiction of what marriage is and what it really looks like and what it requires, and I believe that my husband as well, he grew up in a two-parent household, parents who still loved each other, who were still married, and who showed a rather healthy side of what that realistically is and looks like. I think that that's why I have been able to, you know, be at the point of being a wife, why my husband is at the point of where he's a husband. I think our backgrounds, our childhoods have a lot to do with that. And also just as adults and individuals, us wanting certain things for ourselves, wanting to have a healthy marriage, wanting to understand one another's needs, wanting, in spite of it all, the hardships, the challenges, to love each other through it and not give up on each other. Like, I truly believe, of course, God has everything to do with that, but I also believe we individually have that desire as well. And marriage is not for the faint of heart, that I will say. And so, you know, please, for those who want marriage, take the time out to really develop who you are in all facets if possible, and to try to experience as much individual growth as you can. Maturity, try to mature. Understand the correlation of your childhood and what that was for you and how that could affect your today life, how has it shaped and molded you to the person that you are today. How do you view marriage? What are your expectations? Are they actual realistic expectations, or are they still fantasy realm thoughts and ideas of what you expect marriage to be? Like, you know, like, are you really ready to do life with somebody? Good, bad, hard times, amazing times. Like, are you ready for all these things, you know? Are you ready to be unselfish and to live a life that's about us and we, you know? Are you ready for these things? Like, do you love yourself enough, or are you expecting someone else to love you more than you even love yourself? Like, all of these things, please, y'all, please ask yourself those difficult questions, intricate questions, you know? But anyway, it's been about 42 minutes, so it's my time to sign off. Thank you for rocking out with your girl. Happy holidays, and continue to rock out with me by going to complexsimplicity.com. And until next time.